had lunch. So on behalf of the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation and the Coastal Resources and Fisheries Program, I warmly welcome everybody to the MSS at 100 webinar series. This is session number 62. So MSSRF is celebrating the birth centenary of our founder, Professor MS Swaminathan, who's a global leader in agricultural science, but also sustainable development in the fisheries sector. So we've had a year-long celebration now to highlight his vision for sustainability and through different various kinds of events. And now we've been doing these webinar series. And today we're hosting Dr. Gerard Wilson. It takes me great pleasure to introduce him to everybody on this meeting. So he's a distinguished environmental scientist with extensive expertise in marine ecosystems and coastal conservation. Dr. Wilson serves as program officer in the Coastal Conservation and Livelihoods Program at DAN Foundation in Madurai. So in this role, he actively engages in coastal ecosystem restoration initiatives, including mangroves and seagrass rehabilitation across South India. He also anchors the Advanced Center for Disaster Risk Reduction at the DAN Foundation, spearheading disaster risk management awareness programs in vulnerable coastal districts. He holds a PhD in marine environmental sciences, and his PhD project was actually the first underwater study in the region of Palk Bay, Rameswaram, and documented the ethnic ecology of coral reefs in the area. Before this, he served as the director of marine field operations for the Coral Restoration Project at the Emirates Marine Environmental Group, Dubai, and he led a team that restored over 1 million coral fragments in Abu Dhabi waters. He holds patents, several publications, and numerous awards for his work. And we're really honored to have him present in this session today. Thank you so much for taking time, sir. So I now hand it over to you. You can share your screen and start the presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Gayatri, for your warm introduction. Shall we start?
I think you can share your screen.
My screen is visible now?
Yes, sir. We just need full screen. That's all.
Okay. Yes. So, good afternoon to one and all. It's a very hard time after lunch participating in a webinar. It's a very Herculean task for people. And I hope I will do my best to the part. Okay. At the outside, I like to congratulate MSSRF for conducting this kind of very huge and very successful webinar series, MSS at 100. So as Dr. Gayatri mentioned about 62 successful webinars they already conducted. Usually we are giving awareness to the community and other young scientists. But here they just change from awareness to action. This is very much I appreciated that simply giving awareness is not that much meaningful. So that we have to take this one to the in action manner. So that it's very impressive one. And today we are going to discuss about the community-led coral reef conservation. And actually, I prepared the slide for the community level only. So last minute only, I asked Dr. Gayatri whether this only the community people are going to participate or some students are also going to participate. And it's a mixed group, so that I added some more scientific information also. Okay. So the first one is about the coral reefs. So even from childhood, this is the very fascinating world to see the coral reefs in the televisions and documentaries. So I developed my interest from watching documentaries on Animal Planet and other National Geographic channels, so that the colorful environment of marine waters, which with the colorful fishes moving here and there. So it fascinating me to do something to the study about this coral, so that I joined in marine biology. So these coral reefs are marine invertebrates. They are very primitive animals, and they are like a collection of tiny animals like termites or honeycomb. There are a collection of animals. These tiny animals are called polyps. So this one everyone knows, but I will give a quick review about this one. So it's a collection of polyps. This is for the community people. So this collection of polyps, they are making their exoskeleton by secreting the calcium carbonate to build their exoskeleton. So they live in millions of tiny animals are living together. It's called coral reef ecosystem. And these coral reef ecosystem are the well-known tropical rainforest of the sea. So that much of productive ecosystem is the coral reef ecosystem. And around 25% of the marine living organism, especially the reef fisheries, are depends on the coral reef environment only. So initially, these coral reefs are placed in the plant kingdom because of their sedentary life. And in 17th century only, the one French naturalist, Jean Andre, he proposed it should be in the animal kingdom because of their hunting practices. So the animals are usually they are hunting. So corals are also hunting the zooplankton, and they are eating. So that he transferred from plant kingdom to this one. After 100 years in 18th century, Charles Darwin, he proposed the theory of coral reef evolution. So the subsidence theory and the three types of reefs are there now. So he proposed in this. This is about the history. And when it comes to India, India has two kinds of types of reefs. One is called fringing reef, another one is atoll. So mostly we have fringing reefs, which is growing around the islands. Whereas in atoll, they have a lagoon in between. So we are gifted with Lakshadweep atolls. So in India, since we have 11,000 kilometers of coastline, we have 2,375 kilometers square of coral reef cover. The first largest reef cover is present in the Andaman Lakshadweep, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, where the second largest cover is present in the Lakshadweep. When coming to the mainland, Gulf of Mannar and Park Bay, they are gifted with a very huge contribution to the coral reefs. So this is on the other Gulf of Kutch and areas are having little bit like Mumbai, Goa, they do have very minimum negligible amount of coral reefs. But when we are talking about the coral reefs of mainland, everyone knows about Gulf of Mannar because the first international coral reef symposium has been conducted in Mandapam region, Rameswaram only. So that's what that much of importance was given to our coral reefs. And when coming to the polyp, as I said earlier, the polyp is the fundamental unit of the coral reefs. So millions of polyps coming together and they are creating the reefs. And each polyp it has a tentacles, finger-like projections. These projections are multiples of 6 in number. So that if you are in the GIF image, you may notice that there are finger-like projections. If you are count this one, they will be multiples of 6. That's why it's called hard corals, hexacoralia. If this counting is multiples of 8, there comes to the octocoralia. So it's a basic thing. And since I said earlier, they are from the animal kingdom. So they are sedentary and they want to hunt their prey. So that they usually occupy the wave breaking zone or where the strong wave action happens so that they can easily get the prey. So usually they are preying on tiny zooplankton, so that they have a peculiar stinging cells called nematocyst. So they use this whip to sting the prey and paralyze and consume the prey. Since they are nightarian, they have a sac-like body, so there is no that much a well-developed digestive system. So just they engulf the prey and they are extracting the juice and they spit out the prey. So another one important thing is the association of symbiotic algae called zooxanthellae. So when I previously said that corals having a very spectacular colors. So these colors are given by this zooxanthellae, a tiny algae. It's a plant actually. They are embedded in the exoderm of the polyps. So these algae gives the color. So they have some kind of mutual relationship. Whether this algae, since it's a plant, they are giving the primary. They are during the photosynthesis, they are giving the primary supplementary nutrients to the coral. So we may ask that because you said they are they are hunting in nature so that they can take many zooplanktons and they can consume, but since they are sedentary in habit, they cannot chase the like lion or tiger is chasing a deer and they are hunting, no, but they cannot chase. Wherever the food is coming to them, then they can catch and eat. So that the supplementary nutrition is given by this zooxanthellae, and also they are giving color. In the other hand, they are giving the shelter to the zooxanthellae. And the third picture shows that the color is decreasing. This is called the bleaching. So whenever the temperature or any kind of small variation in the temperature, salinity, or sedimentation, so these zooxanthellae are expelled from the coral reefs, so that they remove from the coral reefs and they are free floating in the water column, so that the coral loses its color. Whenever the possible and favorable condition return back, then the zooxanthellae allows to come back, so they gives the color again. This is one kind of the important features present in the corals. And second one is reproduction. So what is there are two types of reproduction in coral reefs. First one is sexual reproduction. Second one is the asexual reproduction. In the sexual reproduction, again there are two types. One is broadcasting type. Another one is brooding type. In broadcasting type, the eggs and sperms are just broadcasted into the water column. The external fertilization happens in the water column and the planula larvae form. These planula larvae swim around for at least 2 days and they find a good substrate, hard substrate, and settle and they started growing. Another one is called brooding coral. So here the internal fertilization happens so that egg and sperm fertilize inside the correlate, then the planula larvae ejected as an animal. So this larvae also, they swim around. Within 2 days, they settle on the hard substrate and they started growing. So once they started how they're growing, that here comes the asexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction, it has a kind of two types, and it's called a budding system. A new polyp is budding off from the parent polyp. So here intratentacular and the extratentacular budding is there. It's very simple only. So if you see the um, wait, put the highlighter. Okay. So here you may see mother colony. So it divided into two daughter colonies. So here you may see mother colony, mother correlate split into two equal daughter colonies. This is called intratentacular budding. Whereas in the other hand, here you may see the extratentacular budding. This mother correlate gives birth to the daughter correlate either side, maybe in the right side, left side, or north side, the sides. Any one of the side, they giving birth to a small daughter colony. This is called extra tentacular budding. So this is very important. Even though the corals are having sexual reproduction, like they are giving the planula larvae, once the planula larvae settles down, they started growing, multiplying using this kind of budding mode of reproduction. Okay. Another important thing is called fragmentation. So if during a cyclone or broken from by boat damage or something, no, since we said no, the exoskeleton is made up of calcium carbonate, so they are fragile in nature. So whenever any mechanical damage is happen, even many divers are also they are doing exploration. They are damaging the corals and the boat anchorage is there. So it's, even for strong storm or hurricane happens, they usually breaks down. So then when they break down, they also started growing as a new colony by using this kind of budding method. Okay, these are all the two types of reproduction in the corals. And okay, next. Okay. So before going into threads, we want to know what are all the importance of corals. We already know that corals are the tropical rainforest of the sea, and also they are um, so they are very much important to the climate change. Nowadays, we are facing a lot of problems in the climate change, global warming, everything. No, so they are the good sources of carbon filter because they are absorbing the carbon from the atmosphere and they are taking the calcium so dissolved in the water and they are making their exoskeleton. This what they are fixing the carbon like mangroves, seagrasses, and other seaweeds and other terrestrial plants are how their carbon sequestration is happens. No, similarly, corals are also helping to reduce the carbon. So they are important in that way also. And also the major now 15% of the fisheries are depends on the reef environment. They are like acting as a feeding and breeding ground for the many marine living creatures, especially the commercial reef fishes also. So, and also they act as a natural barriers for the large and huge waves like tsunami and other things. So they act as a speed breakers. And also they are protecting the shores from the coastal erosion and everything. And also they filter the sediment also. So these are all the major importance of the coral. So without coral, in ancient days, the corals are considered as rocks or stones only. So even in if you visit Mandapam CMFRA also, the oldest buildings are constructed using the coral blocks only. So that much of awareness was there that time. So the coral reefs are usually used as a building material and lime production only. But after getting to know about the importance of the coral reefs and how it affects the fishermen livelihood, then they started protected this one. And I am very glad that India is also one of the pioneering country and doing lots and lots of research to conserve the coral reefs. Okay, so what are all the threats to coral reefs? First threat is bleaching. As I said earlier, whenever the anomaly is anomaly means the little variation in the physiochemical parameter, either it's temperature or salinity or sedimentation, anything. So immediately the zooxanthellae was expelled out from the core. So if the zooxanthellae is expelling out, what happened? The coral become colorless and also they are starving for food because they are providing the supplementary food, right? So if the favorable condition returns in a very short period, then they started recovering. Otherwise, they will die because of the starvation. So here you may see the coral colony which already bleached and After sometimes the favorable condition returns. So it was in 2010 and 2011, the same colony was recovered from the bleaching events. Second one is the sedimentation. During the rough season, the sediment present in the sea flow, it's got stirred up and it suspended in the water column. So the environment will be very murky and we cannot see anything. So after some time, the suspended sediments will settles down into the in the flow where they cover the coral reef, especially the plate kind of corals. There is another set of things, what are all the different types of corals, how what the taxonomy is different. But since it is for community people, I cut down that part. So it's a different one. Okay. This is called plate type corals. So these corals are like cup-like corals. So all the suspended sediment will settles on the top and they block the mouth of the coralites. Then they block the digestive areas. Then they become partially and completely dead. See, another one important thing is in the since it's a coral reef ecosystem, the algal partner is always competing with the corals. Wherever the coral is little bit mm, unhealthy, immediately the algae will come and compete and overgrow on the coral. So if this kind of small disturbance also gives a huge benefit to the algae to conquer the coral. So that sedimentation is also one of the important threat. Another one is the development project. So here also the coastal development is nowadays very much fascinating. Everyone wants to settle their resorts, industries, and everything on the coastal area only. So this picture was taken in the Middle East. So the construction workers, they are simply discharging their wastewater, I mean fresh water with a huge sediment directly into the sea without any proper treatment. And also in the down picture, you may see the polluted sewage water is directly discharged inside the water. So people may think that if you are putting any litter on the land, anyone can notice and they may report this. If you are discharging inside underwater, no one can notice and only the divers and corals can witness this one. So that these kind of things are happening. So whenever the huge amount of freshwater influx is there, so the salinity will be reduced. And also it increases the eutrophication. So whenever the nutrient level is increasing, it was a great feast for the algae. So algae will grow rapidly and they kill the coral. And also the salinity tolerance will be less, so that the reduction in the salinity also kills the coral. And this kind of illegal fishings. First one is called trap fishing. Not only the traps and also the last and torn nets which we are throwing inside the sea. They and also the last traps there settles on the coral and without anyone's benefit, they are damaging the coral and also damaging the livestock. And cyanide fishing and blast fishing, these are very simple techniques. They are thinking that it's a very simple, easy techniques to catch many fish without any much effort, but it damages lots and lots of reef ecosystem and also unwanted, untargeted fishes also. And oil spill, not only from the oil tankers, but also from our regular fishing boats also, they are spilling a lot of oils in the if you are visiting any fish landing center, you may see how the water color and how much the oils are spilled over there. So these kind of oils are taking many long months and years to be cleaned. So these oils settles on the coral and they blocks the water surface of entering the sunlight, so that they will die. So these are all the major threats to the corals. So here we comes to how to conserve the corals. So we know we have to conserve the corals for our livelihood also. So fishermen, especially in the Rameshwaram, Gulf of Mannar area, they are mainly depends on the reef fish. Reef fishes are very much tasty and very they are giving much livelihood to the normal mm, country boat fishermen. Okay, so how to conserve? As I said earlier, these fragmented corals can the best source of transplantation, so that we can collect a small portion of a healthy coral. It's called nubbin. The we can break the small portion from the major colony and we may grow them in the nurseries. So underwater nurseries will be there, similar to our natural means a terrestrial nursery. We are putting some iron tables inside the water and we started growing these fragments in the cement cups. Especially there are some underwater cements are there, so we are keeping them in these cement cups and this needs a periodical maintenance also. So in many countries, fishermen also involved in this one. They are giving scuba diving training, how to collect the corals, how to fix the corals and the this nursery cups and everything there. They got awareness and with the help of the fishermen, they are doing. So similarly in Dubai also, I was leading one team. We restored 1 million coral nubbins in the environment. So these are all different methods. One is like this one's a table farm, and another one is a tree farm. So this tree farm, the suspended sediment settles on the table will be reduced in the tree farm kind of nursery. So there are different kind of hanging nurseries there, table nurseries there, anything is there. So there are a lot of things to do. So after 6 and 12 months in the donor site, once the corals are started budding and growing well, then we can transfer means restore them into the degraded reef. So this was taken in Abu Dhabi, um, like and this is in the um, Dubai 1 million coral reef nursery. So periodically, monthly, we are doing the cleaning work to get rid of the algal attachments, and we are maintaining the nursery. So once 1 year old nubbins are, then we restored into the natural reef environment. So this is the restoring into the degraded area. So here also, and they need a hard substratum to grow now, so that we are fixing them with the underwater epoxy, and and also we are maintaining them periodically, monthly, so that they started growing in the natural environment also. This is called transplantation. And you may think that the single cup of coral, a small fragment, how it can change the world. But this beautiful image drawing from the CMFI speaks a lot about how can a small fragment can transfer into the have an impact on the marine environment. Okay. So next one is artificial reef. Wherever there is no scope, there is no hard substratum, there is no scope for coral reefs, we may go for with this kind of artificial reef modules. So initially they are doing with the abandoned ships, abandoned buses, motorcycles, everything, even the tires also, lorry and bus tires also, they used as a fish aggregating devices. They are just immersing and deploying all this unwanted material into the sea. So they act as a shelter for the fishes. So the fish need a shelter for feeding and breeding. So that whenever we are putting any object underwater, they started as a aggregating device for the fish. So that they worldwide they are using the cement blocks as a fish aggregating device as an artificial reef. Nowadays, they are using the fly ash also. Fly ash also one kind of waste material derived from the cement factory and other things, so that we can use the fly ash as an efficient way to reduce the pollution. So that here also the second one you may see lot of sculptures are made. So underwater park or museum with like our natural museums are there, no? So similarly, we can design the sculptures and we can paste coral reefs so that it will be attractive for ecotourism also. So these kind of things are happening all around the world. In India also, there are in lot of areas, these fish aggregating devices or artificial reefs are also in practice. And here you may see both the benthic animals and also the demersal fishes are aggregating in the reefs in the RTM means artificial reefs deployed by the CMF or a team. So the demersal fishes always means hunting on the benthic substratum, so that there's a huge collection of marine living organism will be there, so that then they started growing algae and everything. It become a good ecosystem for coral, means reef and fisheries. And also they are also acting as a protector from the coastal erosion. Wherever the coastal erosion is there, we may use this one. And also we have to find a good place. We have to discuss with the local fishing community whether they are putting their net wherever, which area they are usually taking nets, means fishing nets are operating. So we have to avoid that place and we have to put them without disturbing the fishing community, so that it will also helpful to the fishermen and also to increase the fishing. So this have actually the artificial reef. It has, the fishermen always they are fishing from the sea without no efforts. They look like a hunter. So this concept is coined as transformation of fishing community from hunters to the farmers. So this is one of the best idea that even the like our agricultural farmers, fishermen also can farm their own fishes and they may catch the fishes from that one. So this from wild hunters to the farmers, it's a good transformation by using this kind of artificial reefs. And another one is called translocation. Usually in the Middle East, wherever the oil resources is um, found, they immediately wanted to put the oil rigs and to explore this. So if there is any potential marine biodiversity is there, they wanted to translocate them from that area to operate their oil rigs. So that the huge in transplantation we are taking a small fragment, but here we are taking the entire colony by chiseling and sometimes they are using a big heavy materials also to remove the coral. And of this in the second picture, you may see all the huge helmet shape massive corals are just taken from the uprooted from the surface and they kept in the baskets with the fresh seawater. Then they transfer this one to the new environment, similar to the donor site, wherever the favorable condition is there. Then we are translocating them with the specialized underwater cement. And this also we need to periodical maintenance. And the latest technology is called bio-rock technology. So in this bio-rock technology, instead of doing the transplantation or the artificial reef, here we are supplying a very low volt of current, which electrolyzing the water. So in the sea water, the minerals like calcium is electrolyted from the sea water and they giving as an extra boost to the coral. So corals are using their most of the energy to extract the calcium from the seawater. So if we are giving a free calcium ions to them, they can easily grow up. Means the growth rate will be very higher. So that this biorock technology can be one of the latest inventions, so that the dissolved minerals which is used to speed up the limestone formation. So this is the another kind of mineral accretion, I mean, things. And this is about the transformation, means the transplantation and translocation and the artificial reef. So I conclude my session with this beautiful quote from Jacques Cousteau. Jacques Cousteau is known as the father of scuba diving. His quote is like that: if our grandchildren never have the opportunity to see living coral, it will be the everlasting shame of our age. So it's up to you whether this session is having you have a little impact from the session. It will be a great achievement for me and also for the MSSRF team. And once again, I thank you all for your patience. And if you have any queries or questions, please raise. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I think that presentation was super insightful and very informative. I learned a lot. I really actually loved your quote at the end because
Thank you.
not too long ago, I saw coral reefs for the very first time. And I think the scuba instructor I went with actually said that it's been heavily bleached and it was more beautiful before. So I was actually very moved in that experience. And so your quote actually really resonated with me. I think before I open the floor to questions, I had a question myself. I've been hearing a lot about 3D printing in artificial reefs, but is that a better method, or like your perspectives on that?
Yes, as I said, mineral accretion biorock technology is the latest one. The very advanced technology is the 3D printing. Even in many countries, the scientists are just reproduce the exact correlate. Whatever the correlate they need, they reproduce the exact means the structure using the 3D, and also they succeeded that the coral polyps are settles down. So this is a very new invention. But anyway, since it's a new technology, it's a very expensive also. So that in nowadays, in even in aquarium industries also, lot of miniature size of this kind of things are made by the 3D printers. So in due course, it will be become very cheaper. So it's a very interesting innovation.
Okay, sir. Thank you. We will move on now to the question and answer session. I know a lot of people are actually experiencing electricity outage today, but for the participants who are able to unmute and speak, if you could just raise your hand or like unmute as well if you're comfortable. Yeah, you're welcome to ask questions. Just for those online. Yes, Dr. Indra.
Good afternoon, sir. Actually, you all explain about the threats and also now at present, how what are the ways to control that bleaching and also because even we can't able to tolerate that too much of heat and all. You know, how what are the ways to control the bleach and what are the steps that have to be taken? So.
My actually, I couldn't get your point.
Uh,
Why? What I understand is that
mm,
you are asking that how to mitigate the bleaching,
yes,
right? How
yes,
to reduce the bleaching event,
yes, yes,
isn't it?
yes, yes,
Okay. Yeah. So bleaching is the natural event. So we cannot control the bleaching event unless we have to controlling the global warming. So they are all like a chain reaction. So that the global warming is happens because of the El Nino and the ENSO effect. So this El Nino and ENSO effects are transporting the huge amount of warm water to the various parts of the world. So that whenever we are mitigating the global warming by growing lot of mangroves, seagrass restoration, and terrestrial plant cultivation, these are all the some basic methods to reduce cool down the earth. So that this will also indirectly reflect in the means cooling down of the sea surface temperature in the world. So whenever the peak summer is coming, the alarming signal comes from the National Oceanography Administration, NOAA. They are sending the alarming session that the Great Barrier Reefs are started bleaching, Caribbean reefs are started bleaching like that. So that then it comes gradually to the India and the Middle East also. So this is in our hand. In during the COVID period also, lot of industries are shut down and a lot of motor vehicles are not in operation. That time they said there are a lot of positive signal signs were there that time. So that this is the major thing to control the pollution,
Okay, sir.
means bleaching.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, the next person, please unmute. Go ahead.
Dr. Nobi?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, thank you, sir. It's a nice presentation and refreshing our earlier thoughts on coral reefs. Sir, I would just like
Thank
to
you.
know what is the maximum depth at which coral reefs has been reported from India? And is there any new studies going to identify new areas?
Um, Actually, since coral reefs are depends on the zooxanthellae, so whenever means how much deeper the sunlight can be penetrated, coral reefs are present in up to that area only. So when in like Andaman and Lakshadweep, they have a crystal clear water, so that even in huge like 100 meters also they can get some coral, this one, deep water corals. But in Gulf of Mannar, Gulf of Kutch, since the water is not that much not clear, turbid, so the visibility makes the this one. And also nowadays, lot of techniques are there to means deep water diving. The deep diving is the very Herculean, means not Herculean, it's a very dangerous task. So nowadays, UAV is there. So that within using that one, I heard that in NIO, NCCR, NSMC, NCSEM, they are also even NIOT now they started the deep ocean mission also, no? So this will give us many new inventions, and also our Indian coral reef species is also we are following with the Veran is the Veran pattern only. So after that, lot of studies are happens in India, and they just added updated the list. But still, we need more evidences and conclude to document the present, because as I said, as people are saying now, the known is very drop only, unknown is the ocean. So that lot of reefs are still there and species are there to identify and explore.
Thank you, sir. Just to add one more thing, I know that Dan Foundation is taking a lot of effort as well as MSSRF also. Is there any interlinking study between seagrasses and coral reefs, sir? Any interlinking study going on?
From our Dan Foundation, we just started some seagrass restoration activity, but this is, I'm not sure whether there is any interlink study happens. I'm not sure about MSSRF and other institute. I don't know. I don't have any idea. Actually, it's very
Thank you, sir.
important thing. Yeah, because from mangroves, seagrass, and coral reefs are interconnected. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Yash.
Thank you, Dr. Nobi.
Good afternoon. This is V.S. Chandrasekharan.
Hello, sir.
I don't know how to raise the hand, so directly I took the privilege of entering into the.
Most welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you. I just joined a bit late. By only 3:14 I joined, and it was very wonderful to hear from Dr. Gerald first of all, and to know more about the coral reefs. I am a lover of marine science. Dr. Gerald Wilson, you know about me, and one thing I just wanted to ask, how this fly ash, are they helping the corals to grow? Can they be considered as a substratum for their growth? And actually, what is that? I thought the fly ash means it is like our ash. It will be like a powder or something. Please throw light on that.
Yes, sir. It's my privilege to have like eminent scientist Dr. VSR with us today. Thank you so much, sir. And regarding your question, sir, usually that cement is used as a material for constructing the cup for placing the coral fragments to but the cements are very expensive, and also the fly ash is the another one polluting even. So nowadays they are using this fly ash as a binding material to make the underwater nursery cups. So they are just acts as a substratum only, and they we are fixing the corals on the fly ash made cups.
So that is good. That is
Yes,
one way of combating the pollution
yes, sir.
and making good use of the fly ash. For this is
Yes,
news to me. And one more
yeah.
thing, just a couple of days back in Facebook or WhatsApp, I saw one gentleman from Kerala. He has brought the coral bits, live coral bits, to the land, and in captivity he's grown it, and he transferred back something like that. It was like a flash news. Can you say something about it?
Yes, sir. His name is Aloysius, right? So,
Yeah, yes.
yeah, yes, sir. Actually, that nursery has two types, sir. One is underwater nursery. Another one is ex situ nursery, lab-based nursery, sir. Both means in underwater nursery, there are lot of the challenges are there, like the algal competitors and other things. So in lab-based nursery, so these kind of things can be get rid of, so that we can maintain like a aquarium, so
Okay.
that so that it will be we can do a lot of research, and also we can control in a controlled environment the corals can be grown in the nursery.
Oh, good. That's a good news.
Yes,
So we have a great
yes,
hope to have nurseries on land with recirculated
yes,
seawater and
yeah,
all.
they're bit expensive, sir, but it can
Yes.
be, sir.
I think
Yes,
Don Foundation, you can start that. Of course, Government of India and other funding agencies you can approach, because
yes,
this
sir.
is a novel one. Uh,
Yes,
Good. Thank you very much,
yes.
Dr.
Thank you,
Gerard.
sir. Thank you, sir. And sir, my friend Dr. Nityanand is also on the line. He is the one, he introduced the fly ash technology to be replaced for the cement cups.
Oh, good. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Are there any more questions from anyone in the audience? You can just unmute. No need to raise hands if you have anything. Okay. I think that's about it for the questions then. Thank you very much, sir, for patiently answering all of them. And thanks a lot to the participants for the very lively discussion. All great questions. So on behalf of MSSRF, I extend our heartful thanks to today's speaker, Dr. Gerard Wilson, for sharing his valuable insights that has really enriched our understanding of coral reefs, and it'll definitely benefit our work. I think from the discussion as well, what you said about interconnected studies, that's something I'll take away into my work. I know that a lot of people in the cabin next to me work on those topics. And I'd also like to thank the HCL Foundation for their continued support to the Coastal Resources and Fisheries Program at MSSRF. And a very special thanks to all the participants for joining us. I know it's not been easy, especially with electricity outages across the state today. So you've really made the session very meaningful. And then with that, I conclude today's webinar. Thanks, everyone. Once again, thank you so much, sir, for taking time. And,
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Bye, everybody.